This is the big red button. It's green, but consider it the big red button. So once I click this button, this is going to send off the application to Companies House to incorporate my limited company. So ready, steady. Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited to have you here with me today. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Rachel and I am a speaker, an author, a business owner, but most importantly for today, I am an accountant. Now I run the Instagram platform, Accountant She, and over there you guys ask me lots and lots of questions, and within the business as a business owner we also get asked a huge amount of questions, as I'm sure you can imagine. One of those questions is, how do I incorporate a limited company? Lots of people when they make it to us have either already done it and found it a bit of a nightmare, or they'd like to do it but they'd really like to do it themselves so they can see how the process works. So rather than create a set of instructions for you guys to follow, I actually thought I would incorporate a limited company, which I've been meaning to do for a while now, and it's actually my own limited company. I thought I would incorporate a limited company, but do it along with you guys now. So I'm going to do it in real time. I'm going to explain everything along the way, and you guys can have this open on one screen and incorporate your very own limited company as you're watching along with me. The first thing that I need to state in this video is that nothing included in this video is advice, tax advice or legal advice. So I'm just taking you with me through my journey of incorporating a limited company. If you need help and guidance and you'd like to incorporate a limited company, please do reach out. We are currently accepting new clients, but I just need to state that nothing in this video is legal advice. And the second thing that I'd like to run through firstly is the benefits of incorporating a limited company and what they are for us as accountants and business owners. So the first reason lots of people incorporate a limited company is for tax efficiency. So the way we withdraw profit within limited companies is slightly different to the way that sole traders do so. The second reason lots of people incorporate limited companies is in the name, limited. So it's limited liability. That means that a limited company is a completely separate legal entity to you as the director. The third and final reason lots of people incorporate limited companies because of the status, so they sometimes find that other suppliers or other businesses won't actually deal with them, or you can't win the work if you're not a limited company. For example, if you are a small Etsy company, a lot of the time you can't actually open wholesale accounts unless you are a limited company. So the three reasons we see lots of people incorporate limited companies are tax efficiency, that limited liability, and for the status of being a limited company. Now, it's really important to note that there are responsibilities that come with incorporating a limited company. So from an accountancy perspective, each year you need to prepare a set of accounts and a corporation tax return. And then any profits that are withdrawn from that company, the individuals that receive them will also need to complete a self-assessment tax return. So that's the accountancy side of things. There's a company set of accounts and a company tax return, and then the shareholders of the limited company, if profit has been extracted, will also need to complete a self-assessment tax return. On top of that, there's a couple of little bits with Companies House that we need to do each year. So the shareholders and directors of the company also need to file a confirmation statement, which is, it kind of does what it says on the tin. It is a statement each year that confirms the information that Companies House holds on behalf of you is still correct. So you log in each year and say, yes, that's still my company name. Yes, that's still the address. Yes, that's still what I do. Nothing has changed. Or if something has changed throughout the year and you haven't updated Companies House, now is your chance to do so. The final thing I wanted to cover off before we get stuck in is throughout this process, Companies House will ask us who the directors of the company are, who the shareholders are, and who the company secretary is. So there's three different roles that we're going to see come up. So we've got directors, shareholders, and company secretary. So the first thing is that if you as the director of the limited company don't actually have a personal secretary or a separate individual who is going to undertake the secretarial duties of the company, it is absolutely fine that it is you. So if you don't select that there is a separate individual to undertake the company secretarial duties, it will fall on you as the director to undertake those duties. And then just to separate the difference between directors and shareholders, the directors are the people who run the company on a day-to-day basis, and the shareholders are the people who own the company. And it's absolutely fine if you, as an individual, are both of those things, but in larger companies, sometimes the shareholders are different to the directors. So it's important just to get those roles right and clear in your head before you incorporate a limited company. So the directors are the people who run the business, the shareholders are the people who own the business, and as part of that, the shareholders are the only people who can receive profits from the company as dividends. So directors do not receive dividends unless they are also shareholders. So that's some really, really important things to get clear just ahead of this process and for you to have a think about. If you do have any questions, please do pop them in the comments below and I will get back to you. Okay, so now we've got through all of that stuff, let's get stuck in and let's incorporate a company together. So for those of you that don't know what Companies House is or what they do, Companies House is the organisation that keeps all public records and all documentation when it comes to UK registered companies. So that's where you can incorporate a company, dissolve a company and declare any changes to an existing company. So for the purposes of incorporating a company, that's where we need to go. So if you Google Companies House and then click on the government website for Companies House, this is the page that will be displayed. So as you can see, we can go on here to find company information, file information if you are an existing limited company, and do lots and lots of different things. So for the purpose of incorporating our brand new shiny limited company, we want to go to starting a company. Now there's lots of different things here. There's lots of templates, guidance, and things like that. So please do have a browse, have a play around. If you want to pause the video here and have a play on this website, please do so. But for those of you that just want to get cracking, what we need to do is click Set Up a Private Limited Company. Okay, so we're on the page Register Your Company, and you just need to scroll down to the bottom and click Register Now. So one really important thing is just what you need to incorporate a limited company. So you just need some information. You need your own town of birth, your mother's maiden name, your father's first name, your telephone number, your national insurance number, your passport number, and a debit or credit card or PayPal account. So it costs £12 to incorporate a limited company. So assuming we've all got that to hand, I'm just going to click Start Now. Okay, so we've got this screen asking if we are starting a new application. So sometimes people start an application and realise they don't have their passport or a debit card and they click pause. I'm just going to click yes, this is a brand new application. Okay, so before we start, they just want to ask us some quick questions. So let's click yes. And we want to say that yes, I have a credit, debit or PayPal account ready. Okay, so this is a really important thing to note. So Companies House is a public register, and so being the director of a limited company means that your forename, surname, year of birth and the address that you registered the company to will be available on the public register. So this screen is just checking that anybody involved in this company is not on the secure register. If you click yes, it will give you further instructions, but for this case, I'm going to assume no. And we just click continue. So the Government Gateway is an online portal that HMRC have set up so that we as business owners can log in and check on any taxes, corporation tax, VAT, PAYE and things like that. So rather than submitting everything via paper returns on post, we're actually able to send things direct to HMRC online. So once we've submitted a tax return, for example, we can log into our Government Gateway and we can pay it online, we can view it online and contact HMRC online. So we're just going to click the Create Government Gateway User ID button and enter our email address. So I'm just going to blur mine out, obviously, and you just need to enter the email address that you would like to be associated with the business, and we click continue. So this is HMRC confirming that the email address I've given is mine and that I have access to it. So the code that they have just sent over to you, you just need to go to your emails, copy and paste it and enter it into the box. So now that we've confirmed our email address, we can get cracking. So it's going to ask for my full name. So now it's asking you to create a password. This is the password that you'll use for your Government Gateway account. password. So very important that you can remember this. So the password for Government Gateway must be 10 characters or more, so it is quite a long one. So always use a password that you can remember, and if you do need to write it down, keep it somewhere safe. Okay, so because that is a very long password, HMRC asked us to set up some recovery words. So this recovery word will be used if ever you're in a situation where you can't remember your password. So again, obviously do something memorable. Okay, so now I've got my Government Gateway user ID. So again, I'm just going to make a note of that. And again, we click continue. So again, so now we've created a Government Gateway ID, and now we're going to continue with our Companies House application. So it's just double checking that the email address I entered at the beginning is the same email address that I'd like to use all the way through my company incorporation. And I'm going to say yes and continue. So this screen is asking what my relationship as the person incorporating the company is to the company, and that is company director. And I'm going to click save and continue. So for the purpose of the video today, we are incorporating a limited company and not a community interest company. So for this, I'm going to say no and save and continue. So this is quite an important screen here. Companies House is asking us whether or not the company is going to be limited by shares or limited by guarantee. So limited by shares is the most common type of company, and what that means is if the owners of the company ever want to withdraw and distribute profits, they need to be limited by shares, and limited by guarantee is generally only used by sports clubs and charities. So again, for the purpose of today, I'm going to tick limited by shares. So this, for most people, is the most exciting part. This is where we enter our company name for the first time. And there's a couple of different things to consider. So there is an option here where you can check the company name against an existing trademark, and this is absolutely something that I would recommend. So if we click on this, you can use the trademark search here to just check that there are no existing trademarks under the name that you would like to register today. Again, this section at the bottom here is which suffix you'd like to go on the public record. So you can actually choose if you would like limited or LTD. There's absolutely no difference other than the way they look. So for me, accountancy is quite a long company name anyway, so I'm just going to put LTD to keep it as short as possible. So I'm just going to click save and continue. Okay, so the company's registered office, this is an interesting one. So the first and really important thing to note here is that this is the address that will be available on the public record. Now, some people don't like to use their home address. Most accountancy practices actually, as part of their service or as an add-on service, will allow you to use their address or their registered office services so that your home address is not on the public record. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to enter our registered office address. Okay, so I've entered the address, so I'm just going to click confirm and continue. Okay, so this is just asking me to confirm that my registered company is going to be registered in the same place as the registered office. So for me, that's England and Wales, and I just click save and continue. So I'm just going to tick a different address, save and continue, and then enter the details of where the activity is going to take place. Again, that we only have to enter this address if this address is different to the registered office that we entered previously. Okay, so here we just need to let Companies House know how to contact us. It's already pulled through the email address that we gave earlier. So, and then I'm just going to put in one mobile number and then another mobile number that they can use to contact me. We then just click save and continue. So this question is just asking if this company is replacing another business, and it is not. So I'm just going to click save and continue. Again, this is where if you were moving over from a sole trader to a limited company, you would tick yes and provide as much detail as possible. So it will ask you for maybe your UTR, and it'll ask to verify who you are. But this business is not overtaking another business. So I'm going to click no, and I'm going to click save and continue. It is all about trading. So sometimes it could be that you are setting the limited company up and you're going to start trading as soon as it's done that. You could say on a future date and say, I'm going to start trading on the 1st of June. Or you could say no plans to actually start trading yet. You just want to incorporate the company now. So I'm setting this company up for a specific purpose, for a specific trade that is going to launch on the 1st of June 2021. So I'm going to tell HMRC and Companies House that I'm going to start trading from the 1st of June 2021, and I'm going to click save and continue. Okay, so this question is to double check whether or not this company needs to start accounting for income tax within the first 3 months of trading. So it's actually asking us whether or not we're going to be paying interest on non-banking loans, so to a director who has loaned the company money, make royalty payments, or receive interest and dividend payments from overseas investments. And I'm going to tick no because it doesn't apply to me, and I'm going to click save and continue. Okay, so now we've come to SIC code, so it's SIC, and that stands for Standard Industrial Classification. So this is the code that HMRC uses in order to gain a bit of an understanding of exactly what it is that we're doing. So the minimum number of SIC codes that you can enter is of course 1, and the maximum is 4. You can also search within this, so you can search for words, or if you know the code and you know the numerical code, you can just enter that here. Okay, so I've added the SIC codes that are relevant to my business, and I'm going to click confirm and continue. This screen is asking us a similar question to before, and it's just checking that anybody on the company register is not in need of protection of their identity, and I'm just going to click no because that doesn't apply to me. Save and continue. Again, I spoke at the beginning about the differences between directors, shareholders, and company secretaries. So this is asking details of the director of the company. So I'm going to put myself because I'm going to be acting as the director, the shareholder, and therefore doing the activities of the company secretary as well. So of course I will blur this out, but it's important that you enter this information for you as the director of the limited company too. So the correspondence address is the address that will be made available online, so you should just tick the box that says that you want to use the same address as the registered office address and just click save and continue. And now it's giving us the option to tell Companies House where we live, and this will not be made available on the public record, so you can give them your home address. And I'm just going to click save and continue. So this is asking, do I want to receive filing reminders by email? And I do. I'm just going to click save and continue. So Companies House will send you email reminders when you have a task to complete. So it might be a confirmation statement or accounts to file. And I do want it to email me rather than to write to me. I just need to tell them which email address I would like them to send it to and click save and continue. Okay, so this is asking me to check and confirm the details that I've just entered. I confirm where I live, I confirm I want to be a director, and I click save and continue. Okay, so now we're going to set up the company shareholders, and as we said at the beginning, shareholders are different to directors in that the directors are the people who run the company, the shareholders are the people who own the company, and profits are distributed in line with the shareholder agreement. So in this instance, I am going to be the only shareholder, but if there's more than one shareholder, then this is where we tell Companies House who the shareholders are. So I've just told Companies House that I am a director, so it's asking me, is the person whose information you've already entered also a shareholder? So I'm going to say yes and click save and continue. If the answer is no, it will just take you to a different screen. So I actually don't want to add another shareholder. I'm going to be 100% of the shareholding, so I'm going to click no and click save and continue. So again, it's just asking me to review and confirm the information that I've already put in. So I'm going to click confirm and continue because it's all correct. I do want to use ordinary shares. They are the most common type of share, and unless we are different types of profit extraction, then this is the type of shares that most people will use. So I'm going to click save and continue. So the default on the company's website for number of shares is 1, but I always put in 100 in case I ever decide to sell or split the shareholding to more than just myself. It makes it really, really easy to share and it's less fiddly. So I'm just going to tell Companies House that I own 100 shares rather than 1 share and save and continue. So I'm actually just going to take that other amount because I've just put 100 shares in, so I don't want to pay £100. I'm just going to put 0.01, which means the total value of the shareholding is £1. So again, this is just asking me to review the information, and again, it's 100 shares with a total value of £1. So if I wanted to sell the business, half of the business, for example, at today's value, that would be 50p. Bargain. So I'm just going to click confirm and continue. Again, so now you know the password that I told you to keep safe earlier. So now it's going to ask me to log in using my government gateway user ID. Persons with significant control is anyone within the business who holds more than 25% of the shareholding. So for me, I am the only PSC, but this will ask me to just review it and confirm it. And if you had more than one person it would ask you to give their details in too. So because I have more than 25% of the shareholding, I have the right to appoint and remove company directors. Yes. So this is the register of people with significant control. So if ever I appoint a shareholder with more than 25%, I also have to add them to this register. Articles of association are rules that directors and shareholders need to abide by in terms of how they run the company. Some companies choose to upload their own models of association, which all of the directors have to agree to, but for most purposes, you can actually just use the template. So I'm just going to tick the box that says, yes, I'm happy to use the template, and save and continue. I'm also confirming that I agree to form the company, so I'm going to click save and continue. So this is how we electronically sign the document. We have to give 3 pieces of personal information, and save and continue. Okay, so it's just going to ask me to run through and confirm all of the information that I've given so far. And I am really happy with all of this. I understand that this registration application can't be changed after I proceed. And so this is the big red button. It's green, but consider it the big red button. So once I click this button, this is going to send off the application to Companies House to incorporate my limited company. So ready, steady, go. So at this point, it's important to say that you're incorporating the limited company. You are not going to have a company bank account. So you can just use your personal card and then reclaim the expense at a later date. Okay, so I've paid, the application has been submitted. It's given me lots of different reference numbers, so again, do keep all of them handy. They will also email you the reference numbers. So if the application is successful and you have successfully incorporated a limited company with no queries or questions, then you'll get an email within 2 working days with the company number and the certificate of incorporation. Okay, so firstly, thank you so much for following through that journey with me and watching me become the director of my very own limited company. It's a very big day, and if you followed along with me and were doing your application at the same time, congratulations, this is a super big deal. I would really encourage you to print out your certificate of incorporation, frame it and pop it next to you as motivation and inspiration for where your company's going. Yeah, thank you for following along with me. I'm having the best time showing you guys insight into what it is that I do every day, what it is that accountants do every day, and how I can help you as a business owner. So thank you so much for following along with me. As always, it means the world to me if you can like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I do a happy dance every time I get a new subscriber. So thank you so much for watching this video today, and I hope to see you again very soon. Have a great day.